It's the weekend, and you know what that means. Ringside Heat is back on the air on News Talk Sauga 960 AM, as well as YouTube and on Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. You can follow me at Lex Tan Media. You can follow Ringside Heat at Ringside_Heat as well on all social media. And I am just amazed right now to be in a great place like this. Wayside Comics and Cocktails, run by a new friend of the show, Omar. And as we go through the show today, we are going to be talking about WrestleMania. We're going to have a little bit of a SmackDown watch party over here with a full crew, a full ring crew as well. But we also do have our fine and generous host here, Omar, with us, and alongside as well too is John Dawson. You can follow him at John Dawson Music, and you can see all of his music as well too over there. And he's a great interviewer. We interviewed Adam Edge Copeland just a couple of weeks ago before WrestleMania, and that was a lot of fun. And we're here to interview Omar over here.
This is a much bigger interview.
Yeah, much better. Right Adam Copeland, you're great and everything. What you said in AEW Dynamite was amazing, but hey, you know what? We got this guy over here. His name is Omar.
Make me blush.
Omar, welcome to Ringside Heat.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Really nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in today. This is different for us here at the shop, but this is exciting. We're always happy to meet more wrestling fans because we have a good wrestling crew out here.
Well, that's what amazed me. The thing I love about, but before I get into we connected over wrestling. We're sitting in an incredible establishment. You walk in, there's like everything you could love. Tell us about this is a unique place, man. But tell us about what you got going on here at Wayside.
All right, so we're here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails. It's our little shop on Main Street, Newmarket, 200 Main Street South, the corner of Main and Botsford. Got to give you guys the directions on that one. But we're basically we're a hybrid. We're a comic book store with a little cocktail bar in it. Our origin story, I guess, is we were running just a little dive bar behind us here in a smaller spot, and one day all the comic shops in the area has kind of slowly started to close down, and that kind of bummed me out, and there wasn't anything for 30 minutes in any direction, so I decided I wanted to do something about it, and I looked at my regulars one day and said, screw it, we're going to put comics in here, we're going to make it work. Amazing. And thank God all my regulars are huge geeks, and they were like, okay, fuck, you're just going to make double the money on us. Good. And I was like, yes. But no, it kind of worked out, and it was a weird little hybrid. I didn't know how it was going to work, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm 37. I love comic books. They've been around me my whole life. Mm-hmm. What would I want to have in the shop nowadays, right? And like, I like beer. I like cocktails. I like all that kind of stuff. So
put together.
It was a perfect fusion. I always say, like, especially in our first location, it's kind of like an elevated basement hangout. It's a place where you want to hang out with your friends.
That's the
You're
feel.
around all these things that you like. And you know what? Sometimes your friends aren't geeky people. Sometimes they're not into what you're into. So it's nice to be able to walk into a shop and just, it's really easy to start a conversation because everyone who walks in here geeks out about something. So you can just right away, you can click. And it's a great place to build community. And that's what we want to do. We really want to, that's the bar part of what we do.
Right.
That's the community aspect. We try to bring people together.
Mm-hmm. And for those listening on the radio and on Spotify right now, as you were mentioning, this is kind of like this basement kind of feel going on. And it's really cool because you got comic book covers up on the shelf over on one side. You've got different comic books and graphic novels. You got one of those arcade classics things over here.
You were pointing at John. Oh, sexing up the shop right now.
Yeah,
just lounging.
Come on, man. Yeah. This is I'm vibing this place.
It is a vibe. And
to right in my soul.
That's right. And to our left, we've got Omar's regulars as well too that are here to take in some WrestleMania on the big screen over here from just 6 days ago, actually. And all around us, we've also got Omar holding the Hogan 84 title that he was gifted. Can you tell me about this story about Hogan 84 and how you got it?
Sure. So this was a gift from a great regular of mine, Ty. He's actually standing on the left over there.
There's Ty.
Hey, Ty.
Just at a camera there. But no, it's we actually have a really lovely crew of wrestling fans here. And honestly, I didn't know half these people were wrestling fans. And one day I just had it on and we just started talking and everyone got really excited. And it's really cool when you kind of find people with that mutual shared interest. So when we were at the last day in our last shop, we decided we're going to start doing PLE, so we did the Royal Rumble.
Ooh,
and
okay.
It was pretty awesome, and I discovered a whole new side to some of my wrestling customers, especially
Yeah.
Gary. There's Gary and there's Wrestling Gary.
Okay.
It's two very different Garys.
That's
Gary
Gary's
over
right
there.
over there. Do we have Wrestling Gary tonight? Awesome.
We're halfway to Wrestling Gary.
Halfway to Wrestling Gary.
Wrestling Gary's a lot louder, a lot more boisterous.
Gotcha. 2 pints more.
Yeah,
right?
no, it was a really lovely thing, and then we decided we do all the PLEs, so we do WrestleMania. The crew got together. We normally not open on Sunday, so we did a full 2 days, and we had everyone came in costume. You know, we had Macho Man, DDP, the Hardy Boys, Rhea Ripley, like everything.
That's amazing.
And it was cool because it was like it's an even spread too. It's not something you see very often. We had like a 50% male to female ratio here, which is great. It's nice to see that everyone's enjoying it. Even like the casual fan, people who are just here because they normally hang out here, stayed to watch the show, and by the end they were like, I'm kind of digging wrestling.
I'm enjoying this.
They were
Yeah.
enjoying it. So like when you're with that kind of a crowd, you're with that kind of energy, it's a whole different thing. And then the Hogan 84 belt is just very graciously donated to the shop. After Mania, Ty looked at me and he just said, like, this lives in the shop now. We're going to keep this one here.
Sick.
So that was very,
Generous
very
man.
generous of him and very kind. And honestly, I have some of the best regulars here, and I'm very thankful for the people I've met since we've done this.
Well, you just got a few more, I think. But I found the funny thing is I was actually at an Easter gathering, probably about 45 minutes away from here. And I was just flipping through Instagram, and I came across, because I know you were there, and I don't know how I wound up on your feed, and I saw you did something with Elimination Chamber, and I'm like, hold on. And I just said, I'll be right back. I drove all the way back up to Newmarket, and I came walk in. That's when I was like, hey, man.
We had a brief interaction, but it was just like, again, it's like I said, when people come in here and they geek out about something, there's like an instant connection, and like we were chatting for like 30 minutes.
It was great.
I still
Instant.
talk about everything. Yeah.
And that's one of the beauty I find with a lot of wrestling fans too, and we experienced it on a massive scale, which I'm sure we'll get into further in the show, but it is a very special community, despite some of the fandom in the IWC get a lot of bad raps, and that I don't think that's the best side of wrestling fandom. Mm-hmm. The community of the people who are fans, who love it, who share it with each other, man, that's something different, and that's immediately what I got off of you, and already, we've met, Gary, Ty, sitting here, it's just beautiful.
And it's the thing, like we were talking about this on the lead up to WrestleMania, which is kind of the thing about wrestling. It's like a good wrestling match. You don't have to be a fan.
No.
Or you can be a lapsed fan and never have seen, don't know what the lead up is. But a good wrestling match will make you feel something no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you will feel the emotions. You'll know who's the heel. You'll know who's the face. Really, all of that comes through. And it's like a beautiful show and a beautiful dance that they do. And a good match will always bring that out. It's all about emotion at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what people say about it, whether, it's the outcomes are predetermined or whatever. The emotions are always real, and that's one thing I always. And you see it when you have a group of wrestling fans together. It doesn't matter. You're feeling it, you're vibing it in that moment. And, it's raw.
And speaking of which, this is something I got to ask you, because when we were at Philadelphia at WrestleMania, and that was seeing Cody Rhodes get that 1, 2, 3. That was an amazing atmosphere. I want to know what the atmosphere was like over here.
It was incredible. Yeah, no, it was first of all when that bell hit and Taker.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the pop in here was huge. No one knew it was just like jaws dropped, big screams. It was like one of those it took like a second to register.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then just like the big roar from everybody who was here. But it was great, and we're big Cody fans. We're happy to see him finish the story, and it was just really, again, there's been so much build up to it. And the room was actually very emotional when he won, and again, just seeing all the champions, all the people come out.
That was fantastic. The
and
curtain
seeing so
call,
many
man.
people
Yeah, it was
join in.
beautiful.
Yeah, watching Roman walk out, it was kind of like one of those you had to be there moments, because it really did, and I mean they did it on Raw too. It really ushers in a whole new era. They've been building to this, and it really, this was one of those, I was there, I got to see it.
Yes.
And you guys especially went to Mania. I mean, you guys got to live it, which is pretty amazing. Even from over here sitting on the couch and watching the show, like I said, we were here with a bunch of people who maybe also weren't big wrestling fans, and they were cheering right along with us,
That's amazing.
At the end, there were a lot of woes.
Oh, yeah.
Should have heard the 70,000 around us.
man,
That was something.
But that's the thing. The one thing, as John was saying as well too, this is a great way to not just grow the wrestling community and the wrestling and the wrestling world, but also getting people together who aren't wrestling fans, who you find something here in the store that they latch onto, and then there's the wrestling that you put on and everything, and then you have that that palpable atmosphere in here, which you're creating, and I think that's just great because local wrestling fans and local wrestling promotions, that's essential to what we see on the TV.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, man. It's a lot of hard work to build anything. I've been a small business owner for 8 years, and doing this, it was definitely kind of a risk, I guess. I kind of closed one business to really focus on doing this, and it's one of those field of dreams things. If you build it, you hope they will come. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, the community and the regulars that we have, they're spectacular. And if we can build we can make a couple more wrestling fans. Again, it's all gateway stuff, right?
Yeah.
All the geekery, all gateways into one another.
It's all fandom.
Exactly.
It's all fandom. So if you create a good environment, it's like going to a movie with a good crowd. It just changes the experience.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It's the same thing with something like this. If you're with a good crowd of people, you'll just feel it. Like I said it before, but you just vibe into it, and it's like hearing good music in the car or something when that right track hits, and you're in that moment, your head's kind of going, and you're. The driving's going really well. It's that exact thing when you're with a good crowd of people watching something like wrestling and feeling.
There's an entrainment. There's a synergy that happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing. It's this wonderful cohesion of wonderful cohesion of things.
Yeah, and you're facilitating it, and I think it's. I only wish you the best of success with this, man, and
Definitely.
you'll be seeing more of us. Hopefully, we'll be having you on the show again. I think because that would be. Just amazing to have you popping on every now and then, giving us the view from Wayside,
Well, you guys are welcome to come back anytime you want.
I appreciate
thank you so much.
We need socials for Wayside, man.
That's right. So
plug it.
Facebook, you can find us Wayside Comics and Cocktails, or on Instagram, Wayside Comics. So what we go by. Right now we're building our website. We should have it launched shortly, but we pretty much do everything through social media at the moment. Just to give ourselves a little plug for something that we really do here. So we are a creator-forward shop. What that means is we love to support the independent and Canadian community of comic book artists and creators in general. Mm-hmm. So if someone's doing something cool, we want to support what they're doing. So we do a lot of creator spotlights. We love to have independent creators and smaller creators come into the shop to really showcase what they're doing. The spinner rack in front of us is kind of my baby. All that stuff is independent Canadian content, and we always encourage people to check it out. There's so much cool stuff being made today, and no one's at the limitations that everybody used to have. By I need a publisher, I need this. You can do it yourself, much like you guys are doing. You can have your own show if you just want to really put your mind to it and do it. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with that, and I really want to showcase all those amazing people putting out some really great works out there. So that's something that's near and dear to our hearts. Like tomorrow, we have a creator spotlight from 11 to 4 with some great people. We have a big one coming up for Free Comic Book Day on May the 4th. But that's a big one. Like I said, creator forward's always what I want to do, and that's why when you guys approach me too, again, you guys are doing something really cool, and I want to support people doing things like that. That's important to me.
And we want to support you as well too, because you're doing some great work within the community as well.
Thanks, man.
And hey, you know what? We all love wrestling, so that's even better. And comic books, exactly.
It's all the things. What else could you want?
It's all the good stuff. Yeah. It's all the good stuff.
Comic books, beer, wrestling. Toys, whiskey.
Laughing. Whiskey. I forget.
Coffee.
Some lovely tea as well. I had some tea earlier. You're welcome.
And speaking of which, one of these days, I would love you and Chico to have some time together to chat collectibles and stuff like that. Because he's our collectible guy in the group.
Yeah. Right on, for sure.
Yeah, there's a segment coming there. Definitely. Awesome, man.
Well, I actually grew up in Mexico, so I see the lucha mask. We might have to go down, or we have to watch we have to do a day. So on Saturdays we do what we call bad commentary, which is we watch bad movies and we encourage people to yell at the screen.
Fantastic.
It's a lot of fun, but I might have to do one with some of those old Mexican El Santo Blue Demon movies.
Yes,
you do.
Yes.
Those are a great time. I love those movies.
Yep.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Omar, for sitting and chatting with us here today on Ringside Heat.
Pleasure to meet you guys.
Yeah, pleasure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is sitting beside John and myself is Omar of Wayside Comics and Cocktails. It's on 200 Main Street South in Newmarket, Ontario, and it is at the corner of
Main and Botsford Street.
Main and Botsford.
Right
and
in historic downtown Main Street.
there you go. And you'll be seeing more of him in the next coming months. And hey, see more of him by coming down to Wayside Collect.
Check us out. It's a lot of fun here.
Definitely. So thank you again, and looking forward to talking to you again once soon.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
We're going to take a break right now on the radio side, but when we come back, we will bring in the rest of the ring crew, and we're going to chat about WrestleMania 40 and watching it on TV as well as watching it live and in person when we come back for more Ringside Heat after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM, Spotify, and on YouTube. Live tape on location at Wayside Comics and Cocktails, 200 Main Street South in Newmarket, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show, and we've got a full cachet of ring crew right here on the show to talk about WrestleMania and what we experienced live and in person and also watching at home on TV. But first, let's introduce the crew we've got around us over here. Starting to my very left over here, your very right, is David Morassutti. He's holding the WWE Championship right over here. David, what is your social media credentials and where can they follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on X at _Morassutti, and also if you want to check out some Toronto Maple Leafs content, follow my podcast at Locked On Leafs.
That's right, and speaking of which, Austin Matthews at this point in time that we're recording is 2 goals away from 70.
2 away from 70.
Wow, that's
he's going to need his own WWE Championship belt once he gets to that milestone.
That's true.
Hey.
That's very true.
Hey.
It's okay. It's okay. Austin Matthews we'll give it to Austin Matthews. It'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
To my direct left over here is Steve Peconi. And Steve, where can we follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at Peconi Steve. You can find me on X at Steve P _CAWS.
Awesome. And to my direct right over here is our wrestling memorabilia collector and Chico Nuguid. Chico, your information.
Oh, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram and X and YouTube at Coco Collects. So you can find me there. Check out some of my collection.
To Chico's right is
Jose Taboada. You can find me on X at Taboada93.
And of course, we've already introduced John from the last segment. At John Dawson Music is where they can follow
Actually,
you.
I'm changing that. Now, if you just say my name 3 times, I will appear.
I believe in John Dawson. That's
Still
for sure.
working on the how, but that's where we're headed.
So John Dawson.
Let's see.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
It worked.
Wow, interesting. So is this a cross between Beetlejuice and Joe Hendry? Now I'm hearing right now.
Yes.
Very nice.
I believe.
I do believe, and I believe that it is that WrestleMania last weekend in Philadelphia, April 6th and April 7th. It was something that we've all been looking forward to, not just watching on TV, but also being in person for some of us as well too. And I want to hear about your experiences at WrestleMania, or watching it on TV. I know, Steve, you had to watch it at home.
Hey, but you know what? I got to watch it with my 6-year-old. It's her first time watching Mania.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
You know,
That's precious.
we watched the whole thing. She watched Stand and Deliver on Saturday afternoon. We watched night 1, night 2, front to back. That kid was blown away. So you know what? It could have been the worst WrestleMania ever, but the look on her face and just her excitement at being able to watch Mania, that made it for me. Mm-hmm. That was my
and I think no matter what was your first WrestleMania, like my first WrestleMania 18, and I'm not gonna sit here and say it was the greatest of all time, right? I know it was like a kind of like it was decent, right? But to me, it's just that first one, the first one that I just watched, and it still sticks with me. So I'm sure down the road 40's gonna stick with her, and that's pretty sweet.
Me, it was 2.
There you go, right?
WrestleMania
Like,
too.
well,
Seeing Hulk Hogan get busted open on the big blue steel
Big blue
cage.
steel
and
cage,
seeing
yeah.
3 different cities at once, what an experience!
Oh my god!
That's a great experience for the TV fans, but I'm
That's
not
true.
sure for the live fans for that WrestleMania.
That's why I said it.
They had screens.
Hey, but people frowned upon the WrestleMania that I first saw completely, which was WrestleMania 9. You know, the big Caesar's Palace one.
Well, why did everyone hate that one?
Well, I don't know.
Did something terrible happen at the end?
I have no idea. Some guy named Hulkster or something stole a spot from my favorite Brett.
Yep.
John, what was your first?
What was the first one you watched?
I don't remember watching any completely, but the first one I remember getting information on was actually WrestleMania 1 when I called Starphone.
Oh wow, Starphone.
Oh, the Star Phone.
That's what, yeah.
And Dave, you were 18 as well with.
No, mine was 17 actually.
Oh, for the love of never mind. Carry on.
Oh, geez. My first one was 18.
There you go. Yeah.
But for context, right now we're recording live to tape, I guess, in a sense, here at Wayside on Friday night. SmackDown is running right now, and Cody Rhodes, the new undisputed WWE champion, as he's now being billed now. We're not exactly sure how he's being billed, but he
For now,
is.
it keeps changing.
He's getting his cheers right now from the live crowd.
Oh, yeah.
It is filled to the rafters right now in that arena, and he's just soaking things in with that beautiful championship in his hands.
I want to jump in there. I know because we obviously, Lex, you and I had a chance to talk to Omar, but I'd love to hear the thoughts from the other boys on Wayside. I mean, what do you guys think?
This is such
place
a
is
great.
killer.
I mean, Dave and I, as soon as we stepped in, and Omar was telling us that that we want to do a party, watch parties here, and I'm like, well, I'm down to come for
Yeah,
Backlash
yeah.
or for the show in Berlin, or even like a weekly show. If we lived closer, this would be a place that we would come to on a regular
all the
basis,
time.
even just to have a cup of coffee, not even say
Yeah,
for
right on.
wrestling.
Absolutely.
I'm a huge coffee shop guy that loves to go sit, pull my laptop out, do some work, and this would be a place because I don't have a place like this back in Toronto. I don't.
Yeah.
The vibe is unreal here.
Coffee, how
Unreal.
quaint.
That's me. That's the kind of guy that I am. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful spot. I mean, myself as a collector of different pop culture-y things, especially comic booky things, I mean, immediately I took notice of everything here. I mean, they got current books, they got books from all sorts of eras. It's all up to date, and they got some of the best action figures too on their shelves. They got some Marvel Legends. They got some NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was just talking with Dave earlier about how beautiful that set of 4 1990 Ninja Turtle movie figures are. You know,
The bank account is in my ear every time I look at those things. Saying, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
They got this,
Don't do it. Do it. Don't do it. Do it.
They've
You know?
got this absolutely stunning quarter scale Iron Man Hot Toys figure
Yes.
that I'm staring at right now. Oh my goodness! If you're into the Hot Toys, this is a cool place to come and get them for sure.
Yeah, but it seems like a very lively, fun place to be at on a regular basis.
Yes.
Again, if I lived closer, I think I would be here showing up as a regular because this place is phenomenal. I would like
great.
to come more often, see what that environment is like on a wrestling watch party. So
It's like Cheers for nerds.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'd like for everybody to know my name here. Sure, why not?
It's the central perk of wrestling or comic books.
See, I knew you guys would like it. I knew you guys would like
Attaboy, Johnny.
Good call.
Attaboy.
Good call.
Attaboy.
He was right.
Look
What
at
can I
John
say?
with his networking skills and everything.
Listen, somebody's got to do it around here, Lex.
Oh boy, look at that, huh? You know, you're networking. I'm helping with the socials. This is.
I don't know what this guy's doing.
I don't
He's
know.
just pressing buttons over
This
here.
is this is a good tag team, ladies and gentlemen. You know,
I don't even know if he knows what buttons he's pressing.
should we buy like replica or commemorative tag titles? Should we like partner up on that and just show the
I
guys?
like Lex's idea. Yeah, well, yes, we should.
Oh, absolutely.
But I also like the actual match idea for you know.
But just remember, though, I am the tag team champions.
Okay, that's. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Anyways.
Ringside, he even remembered the things you probably forgot.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
So, guys, all right. So, thank you so much, again, to Wayside Comics and Cocktails for hosting us here today. Great venue that we're here right now. Let's talk WrestleMania. Let's talk about what we saw.
Hold on, Lex Tan. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was just about to get to that, sir.
Sure. Okay. I mean, you're starting
El
to.
Santo, or whatever this is.
Sure. Chico El Luchador. How about let's do that?
Chico Luchador. Yeah, WrestleMania. Okay. First off, just your general thoughts. Anything that's in specifics that you want to talk about? Yeah. What do you want to talk about when it comes to WrestleMania?
I'm just happy. I don't even want to. I don't even want to go into the details of the matches itself. As Omar, the owner, taking a photo of us here. I don't even want to talk about the matches. I'm just so happy. You guys know how excited it was leading up to this, especially for you guys because it was your first WrestleManias attended, and Steve, you were there in spirit as well. So I thought about you as well the whole way through.
Thank you.
And I just feel so like I
don't know how to take that.
I feel fulfilled. It's like it's.
About Steve.
I'm just saying, I wish everybody was I wish all of the ring crew was there. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Shout out Colin Dodge.
Yeah, of course, exactly. And but
there's one match in particular that might have killed them.
Yeah, well, not to mention the mat the entire weekend.
Yeah.
But seriously, the excitement on all your faces was great. Just such a happy time again. Thank you to Dave as well, for saying, hey, let's go, because I wasn't sure if I wasn't gonna have anybody to go with at the end of the day, and Dave stepped up, thankfully. And the one thing I was telling people is that, for example, this was our Super Bowl, right? If you were to go to a Super Bowl, half those people are going to leave upset.
Yep.
Like if I was a Super Bowl 52 as a Patriots fan, I'd be angry that the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. I saw that Super Bowl 52 banner. Yeah. I hated it when I was at Lincoln Financial. But at a WrestleMania, no matter what the result is of whatever match you were looking forward to, everybody leaves with the biggest smile on their faces knowing that they were at a special weekend. So just happiness all around. This is why I love this event so much, and I don't know if I'm going to do WrestleMania next year or for the next little few years, but for now, I'm just happy that I have another one in my books that I can look back at and have the biggest smile on my face anytime I think about it. So thank you to you guys for making that experience for me once again, just feel like a kid again. And for you guys, I don't even know where you guys would want to start, but for me, I'm just happy I was a kid again.
That's it. I'm grateful too. I'm going to jump right off of that and say I want to thank Jose also, because he kind of, some of us were already thinking about it because Philly is a reasonably drivable distance, so it was gonna be a possibility anyway. But then Jose, having had his experience going to WrestleMania 35, really communicated his enthusiasm, without shoving it down our throats, kind of just giving the right push, and I want to give props or I want to acknowledge my cousin RV at RV Plays Music on social media for hosting me and Lex, and then for driving us around the whole time we were there too. I drove down to Jersey and to Philly, but he drove us all around and even showed us the cheesesteak place that Bruce Willis deems the greatest cheesesteaks on the planet. So things like that, like all the moments that we had at WWE World, we even checked out. He even showed us a Phillies game. I've never been to a ballpark outside of the Rogers Center, so that was a nice first experience. And just all the things that we did, everything at World, everything at the Link, everything at Wells Fargo Center for SmackDown, and the Hall of Fame, because we're all Paul effing Heyman guys. So just everything was good, and I'm just coming off of this high. I'm still there because on top of it being a milestone experience, the show itself was also phenomenal. Like, it was a really good Mania.
I guess thankfully, but
But just the experience, yes, you're right. The experience was really good, mind-blowing. It's lighting the fire for me wanting to make it happen again someday, I thought maybe never, and then it became once in a lifetime. But when I was there, I thought, I want to try and make this happen at least once more, maybe at 50, who knows. We'll see where it goes. But it was really fun.
And I just really want to, where I want to kind of transition to John here, because I think one of the reasons why my WrestleMania experience was so great was spending time with the Dawsons. Dave and I, we were basically we spent the entire weekend together. We were at the same hotel, we carpooled, and to see the joy on your face, to see the joy on Glynis's face, on your kid's face, to me, that's something that just engraved in my mind, and I'm never forgetting that, how happy they were to be there and their excitement. So John, I don't know how you want to follow up on that, but I'm just so happy that if I had to spend a time with with a group of people, it was definitely the Dawsons. So I'm very thankful for that.
It's priceless.
putting my family over. I'll take that.
We are a family show.
Well, and then so's the ring crew. So there you go. Family recognizes family. Look, being there with kids, with your own kids, that's there's no words for that. You know, when you see, especially that moment, Cody. My youngest son, Luke, if you guys remember, the kid was a disaster. He was crying.
He was.
And he insisted they were tears of happiness. I can take him at his word.
They were.
It was surreal. It's like he was processing something completely new, and he didn't know how to handle it.
He didn't have the resources for it. No. Yeah, it completely overloaded him. It was hilarious.
Well, I was walking, you guys stayed back a little bit, but I was walking with Luke up ahead a little bit. I'm just kind of like, I'm at his side, and I'm just like talking to him, trying to help it ease it out. And he was getting better. I'm like, don't worry, this is good. This is happy. This is what happiness feels like.
I think my oldest son popped the most for Cody's mask.
Oh yeah, the entrance.
I think he blew his throat out screaming for that. But no, that was, man. You know, my wife, who's become a fan, to speak on her behalf, she became a fan over time, but watching it live is what hooked her. So her being at WrestleMania, they made signs. You know,
I do have a question for you, John, specifically. With you and Glynis sitting there, and one of her favorites, Kevin Owens, coming out in a golf cart. Was that of any special significance to either of you?
That's a callback to our Martyr to our Martyr Shrine days.
I just thought of it now.
Anybody who's known me from a certain time knows I have a certain love of golf carts. Yes. I was.
It happened to me, of the one that you guys went to.
I don't think I haven't priced those things out, man. Let me tell you, I could go with one of my own golf carts. That was a massive part of the budget line. Probably got in trouble for that.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, it was amazing. It's actually to piggyback off that. One of my favorite events in my lifetime has always been World Youth Day. I met my wife there. I've been to several. I played at one in Rome, and actually I played in Toronto too.
Sure.
And that was my first experience at a really large crowd, all bonded by the same thing. And that experience, that feeling was there at WrestleMania.
It really was.
It reminded me a lot of World Youth Day. It was hilarious. Mm-hmm. And it was just, there were these call-outs. You know, we've been doing it here all night at Wayside. We've been doing,
Yeah.
And you were doing, there they go. And I love it. And we were doing that, WrestleMania, just walking anywhere. The hotel where we stayed, also everybody staying there in Jersey were wrestling fans.
Within the first 5 minutes of staying at the hotel, we saw a bunch of people with shirts, and immediately we started talking about how many WrestleManias did you be at? What are you excited for? We weren't even there for 10 minutes, and already we already knew we were at a buzzing hotel.
Still had your bags with you?
Yeah, we were waiting to check in, and there was this guy beside us in a Bray Wyatt shirt, and we started talking about Bray, and he's telling us he's at his 5th WrestleMania, and it's like,
oh my goodness.
From Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that's more accessible.
So, long story short, I had the benefit of having. It's funny, I didn't even really think about my own personal experiences. I bought a program. That was my only souvenir.
I got one in the car too.
I bought a program.
It's so big, The program.
Huge.
Dave, you forgot to get a program, didn't you?
I keep killing myself not getting. It's just like
a program.
You in the moment, you're like the memory of it's gonna be good enough, but I'm like, I want the program now to properly remember all those moments.
That was the only thing I wanted. I don't need the shirt. I mean, shirts are great, hats are great, but I want a program.
That's why I spent my money.
Hey, you can always, you know what, and on WWE Shop, you're going to find some of the Mania stuff on sale later on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
WWE Shop, please just sponsor us, okay? Sponsor us.
My souvenir from this weekend, amongst the clothes and everything, is the WCW big gold belt over here that's on our left over here. I finally got this paired up with my WWF Attitude Big Eagle belt over here. It took me 19 years to do it, but finally, I've got the Chris Jericho Undisputed Championship.
Dave, how did you restrain yourself from not buying another title this weekend? How did you pull that off? Because you had your eye on I think about 3 separate titles all weekend, and somehow you'll walk away empty-handed. I don't know how you
was
Maybe you're talking empty-handed. I got one right now.
Okay, what was the possibility? What were you gonna?
I was looking at the Eagle belt. It's just going back to my Stone Cold days as a kid.
That would have been my pick too.
Jose kept yelling at me, spinner belt.
Oh, really?
They had those mini titles too.
Yeah.
That were 7.
Oh my god, I missed out on the souvenir. World Heavyweight Championship belt for the event, and it came in a box that was shaped like a Philly cheesesteak. It's $250 US, but it was a mini belt. But it might have been gone by the time you got there because it was a hot seller.
Man, my bosom feels really funny right now.
I even got looking with my jersey. I was just walking around looking for the jerseys, and I found one on Medium just sitting in a bunch of other shirts, and I'm like,
That's it. That's
and the dream became reality
so
again.
they had two because of the two world titles, right? The undisputed title was in the shape of the Liberty Bell. So that was kind of cool. Beautiful. But the cheesesteak one was the one to get.
That's beauty right there.
By the way, speaking of cheesesteaks, as the ring crew, those of us who were there, Pat's or Geno's?
I only tried Pat's, so I'm going to go with Pat's. Dave, you had both.
I had both. If you're going to do it, you got to make sure you get the proper comparison.
Okay, so what did you pick as your... Is there a clear winner for you?
I went with Pat's.
There you go.
I gave them a little more credit because they were doing it out of a food truck because they were doing work out of it.
I'm going to add on to that vote and say Pat's over Geno's. They are the originators of the cheesesteak, but at the same time, I've had both and I've had a slightly better experience at Pat's.
Well, fun fact, friends, John nearly went a different route as we were waiting in line.
Thinking about that. I was really struggling. I wanted the pork sandwich.
It
looked really good.
We were in line for about, I'd say we were in line for about a half hour, maybe a half hour-ish. But John was there like, I'm saying, should I get the roast pork? And I'm like, John, we're here for cheesesteaks. Yeah, but the roast pork just looks so good.
And I can tell you, until I got to that counter, I was not sure what was going to come out of my mouth. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Well, wasn't it amazing that when you did get to the...
surprised either way.
When you did get to the front of the line, that sandwich was within your hands within about 10 seconds.
Yes.
It was great. It was
so
great.
fast. It's an assembly line.
What do you want? Cheesesteak gray. What cheese? Cheese whiz. Onion? No.
Whiz-wit.
I think my only regret is we didn't eat them then because we had to drive to the stadium after that.
It wasn't that far of a drive, though.
No, but it was enough for the cheese.
No, but you gotta have it there.
Touche.
Yeah, you gotta have it when you're there.
Just means we gotta go back and try it again.
Amen, brother.
Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM on Spotify and YouTube, where we talk about cheesesteaks. Anyway,
and the stuff that you probably forgot about.
I will also, I will also put over one shop, which I put over on Instagram last week. Roman Pantry in New Jersey as well too.
I acknowledge Roman Pantry.
I acknowledge them. Their cheesesteak is great. And if you guys go back again with us as well, I will suggest Roman Pantry as well because they've got some amazing Philly cheesesteak, regular cheesesteak, and just overall pizza was great over there too. So I acknowledge the Roman Pantry. Anyway,
that's right.
We're gonna take a short break over here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about WrestleMania, our experiences, and the things that we not just experiences, but also a little bit of the card as well. When we come back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM, live to tape on location from Wayside Comics and Cocktails in Newmarket, 200 Main Street South. My name is Lex Tan, alongside David Morassutti. We've got Steve Peconi, Chico Nuguid, Jose Taboada, and John Dawson, and we're talking about WrestleMania and our experiences from this weekend over here.
Lex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lex.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm sure we've all noticed, but you've been saying live to tape the whole time.
What's a tape?
Is that a thing still?
Apparently, it's
I don't
still.
see no tape.
Apparently, it's still a thing in the radio industry to say live to tape. So.
Is it now?
Yes,
There
it
you
is.
go.
Yes.
And even
Yes.
and even in TV
Yeah.
broadcasts, they'll say live to tape still. So.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but sure.
We all know it's not.
Because of good old broadcasting practices, and we love to see it.
That's right. Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't know these things.
Dave, would you know these things?
Oh, I hear it all the time. Like we still even use like newspaper terminology, and I'm all online. Like it's
Do you still send ravens?
Passenger pigeons, bud.
Passenger pigeons.
Smoke signals.
I watched Game of Thrones, so that's what I learned. You know, Game of Thrones ended terribly, but you know, they sent ravens.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So anyways, okay, as long as you were doing it on purpose, the tape thing. I was just
It was on purpose. Yeah.
Sure.
It was on purpose.
So,
Sure.
David, this was your first Mania.
It was.
We want to hear about your experiences
Yeah, man.
as your first Mania.
So when I came on the show last time, I said like I'm not a person that gets excited until I actually get to the event. It was WWE World where I was just like, I wasn't even at WrestleMania, and I was just like at awe.
Yeah.
It was seeing all the people with the belts, have the envy of everyone with the belt. But then you get inside, and the thing, and Jose made a great point, like, everyone's there and they all want the same thing. Have a great time. The one for me, though, is being live, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
That crowd. Nothing beats the crowd. Like, I always say, oh, like, why are you spending so much money going to WrestleMania when you could watch at home? You don't get that experience at home. You can't replicate it. And to me, that's what made it special.
Yeah.
Even though when you knew when things were happening, the moment, the pop, that's what made it for me.
For me, I've had two similar experiences. Obviously not to the scale, but one was seeing Bruce Springsteen in concert because again, everybody's there to have a good time and just get into it, and and the second was going to the live event at Coca-Cola Coliseum with you guys, the house show with the Roman and Sammy rematch.
Oh yeah,
so
that was great.
Two moments during that. Number one, when KO's music hit and nobody was expecting him, and when Sammy's music hit. Just feeling that crowd during those moments was
prime bloodline.
I was really happy that I got to. My instinct was to turn on the camera to record Dave and I in those final. Once after Solo came out in the main event.
So sorry for not doing that.
I told myself, okay, I'm turning on the camera right now. And you know what? I mean, the crowd around us was amazing, but even just to see David's face, I mean, there was a point where like he's just not even screaming; he's just standing there going. So this is what you can tell his face. That this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, and that's what I loved seeing. I'm so happy I got to experience that with you, man. It's like there's a bunch of friends I would love to do that with, and it was the fact that it was you. I'm so thankful, man. So
appreciate it.
It was just great to see his face and just all excited. And when Taker came out and he was having a blast too, and just it's just so much fun. I mean, and even the other thing too as well about this again, like I compared it to a Super Bowl earlier. When you're at a wrestling event, right, you're interacting with everybody, you're friendly with everybody because we all want the same thing. Well, except for these two guys behind us on night one who were saying Austria is better than Canada, but we're going to exempt that.
Just let it go.
Fight almost happened at that point.
But even like when Cena's music hit, when the Shield music hit, when Taker's gong went off, we're all looking at each other as if like we've been friends for years, just like screaming all giddy at each other, and it's like that is what this is all about, and that's why I love this event so much.
Okay,
and,
who thought Moxley was going to come out?
I did.
I totally thought so too. I thought that was going to be the big surprise of the weekend. Right?
Could you imagine?
I could definitely imagine.
I was saying to Johnny, there were only two things for me that could have put that an already incredible show. Two things that could have put it over the card: Moxley and Dustin. If Dustin had come out to celebrate,
if they found a way to negotiate and be like just one night, AEW, just give us the one night and we'll let you go. And
have you been listening to AEW lately?
Can we just call him Tony Petty?
Tony Petty. Can we just maybe not say those three letters again and give them any oxygen for the rest of this?
I do want to say this as the Santos Escobar's minions are attacking LA Knight. Am I really calling this right now? They're attacking LA Knight. As Angel Garza and Humberto going after LA Knight, and there's a triple team there with Santos taking down LA Knight. Here's the cover. No, I lied. There's no cover. He just rolls him out.
No, they just attacked him. That's it.
I just to get back, I do want to say this because this was a topic that I didn't think that was.
Bobby Lashley.
I mean, I probably should have expected this, but the debate about should it have been Austin this past Sunday?
I say no.
And you know what? Look. Like Dave and I, we were waiting for it. Everybody in our section was waiting for it. We wanted to hear that glass shatter, but first of all, the genuine surprise of not expecting the Undertaker when we were expecting Austin.
That worked.
Was
the genuine surprise.
amazing.
Yeah,
Two,
that was it. Yeah.
we were the Dawsons, Dave and I, we carpooled together to WrestleMania, and we were in the van after WrestleMania. We're all talking to her, and one of the questions I asked them was, "Why Undertaker?" So we thought about it, and then we said, "Well, listen, Taker has his history with Roman at WrestleMania 33.
Yep, exactly.
And then you think about it further, and then you take it a step back, and the fact that Taker has had history with the entire Anoa'i family, Yokozuna, The Rock, Rikishi, he has history with all of them. So it worked out.
Okay.
And reports started to come out that apparently it was supposed to be Austin. At the end of the day, if it was supposed to be Austin, what a happy accident of having Taker take that spot. Because logically, It made sense, and thank God. So, not
100%.
complaining.
And
not
again,
complaining.
and again, it's one of those things that John has been saying for the last 3 years on Ringside Heat. It's the little things that WWE does that really translates and contributes to the bigger story at hand. And we saw that. All of those elements coming together in that final main event, in that Avengers Assemble moment.
Yeah, but one thing that I think of the little things that I love the most was Rock's,
Oh, yeah.
Rock's face.
There you go. The two.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. LA Knight just won.
Night just won.
You sure LA won?
Anyway, sorry, John. Go on.
No, it's okay. The Rock's face when he turned around and saw Taker. I mean, the guy's bit was running hot, running his mouth, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you." Like, you're. This isn't good.
You're the real final. You're the real final boss.
Well, no mere human can defeat the final boss. It had to be a dead man.
That's
Yes,
true.
that's true. In the hoodie.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I was slightly disappointed it wasn't Austin, just because Rock and Austin are those iconic
The glass
feuding
braid.
stars.
Dave was in shambles. David was in shambles.
Yeah,
yes.
no, I wasn't like completely sad because it's the freaking Undertaker.
No, I know, but this is David you're talking. We got a Stone Cold shirt on.
I was
so-
conflicted. I was wearing a Stone Cold shirt.
Yeah.
Well, no, and
We're all
also
anticipating.
Austin, the ultimate anti-authority
Yes.
WWE Hall of Famer icon, right? And what was The Rock this whole last few weeks?
Board-
the final boss,
Yeah,
right?
the board member.
The power abuser kind of guy.
Yeah.
So it would have made total storyline sense, but the Swerve being the Undertaker, no complaints there.
Oh, that was the thing. Like, initially I was like, Taker. Oh my God, like unreal. Like I
screamed my face off.
Yeah, like,
but
but
this-
then you think about it, and you think about it like, okay, selfishly you want Stone Cold, but Taker is on that level too.
Oh yeah.
But this is something I've said to Johnny the last several months about WWE right now. It is an absolute embarrassment of riches.
Absolutely, and
Oh
I've
my God.
used that phrase too in the chat for sure.
Like the fact that it could have been Austin, it could have been Undertaker.
Yeah.
It could have. It's like okay. Like
It was Cena.
Cena and stuff like that. It's like the fact that those are even options for us that all made sense within story.
Yeah.
Any one of them
After
could
we'd already
work.
seen CM Punk come out, Rey Mysterio have a match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like this is absolutely.
And Samantha Irvin looking like a smoke show.
And a reminder
and
of
her when you guys watch back the broadcast, especially her performance as
Phenomenal.
as the ring announcer. She was off the charts.
She was
Howard
awesome.
Finkel is looking down and tipping his hat.
Oh
And,
yeah.
hey, Michael Buffer tipped his hat on social media to her.
Absolutely.
That's another legend.
Samantha's call of the Money in the Bank cash-in moment,
Yeah.
and the fact that she sounded so confused on the mic, I'm like, this works.
Yeah.
And her
Because she's
crying when
way
she-
into
Jose,
it.
how many times did we rewatch that in the hotel
I
room
just
when we got back?
laughing.
Because it's funny, but it was also just like that's what makes it that much more special when the emotion that everyone is feeling is going
and,
down.
and when she even participates in it as the ring announcer, it just adds that extra level to it.
Absolutely.
Like it takes it to another echelon.
Oh my goodness! By the way, folks. By the way, if you want to
I
see
hope Osprey's not listening. He doesn't know what that word means.
If you want to see Lex's point of view of Cody's shiny moment, and if you want to see the reaction of Dave and I reacting to Cody's big moment, you can check out our YouTube channel where we have both of those videos
That's
uploaded
right.
for you to enjoy. And I'm biased. I think Dave and I had the better video there because it's just us.
I'm
But
so
you-
sorry that we didn't do that.
No, it's okay. I'm killing you later.
I will say to my credit as well too is that it was so loud in our section.
It was loud.
It was so loud in our section. I actually had to take down the levels on the video when I edited it from 100% to 10% just to make sure everything balanced out. It was that loud in our section.
A phenomenal night, and,
It really was.
and I'm telling these guys, eventually you can take your time, but the vlog will be edited. We'll just the edit for the vlog will start soon because I know there's gonna be a lot of footage, and I cannot wait to see what each of your journeys were. I know
I have
John,
about
we know
60
generally
gigabytes
sent
of stuff.
Hey, it's okay. WWE themselves
I
is
have about
delayed.
60 gigabytes of stuff here.
60.
on my Dropbox.
He said 60.
It's a lot of
He
footage.
said 60. Hey,
Yeah.
John, remember that time when I want to take over the show? This is a great time, John.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
How many gigs did you get? Like 500,000?
Huh?
How much footage did you get? Memory wise?
I don't know, but it's not 60
lot, huh?
gigs.
Give me that wrestling album over there.
Oh, sure.
It was great.
I had
So
that
good.
on cassette when I was a kid.
For those that are not able to see this and are just listening on the radio, if this is even going
Or
to be on there,
Spotify.
on Spotify, John Dawson is currently holding a record of the wrestling album from
record.
the 1980s.
I believe this
All
is
right, a vinyl, as they say. And it was one of those original things. Real American, is it on there?
Is Real American
Rick Derringer?
on it? Yeah, it is.
It would have been used by the U.S.
Here's the-
Express
here's
at the time,
yeah.
right?
Maybe, because it says Hulk Hogan's theme, then into Real American. So
There you
yes.
go. So
Tutti Frutti.
I love Nikolai Volkov's version of Karamia.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that. I love that.
well, I loved him singing the Soviet anthem at WrestleMania 6 and then getting demolished by the Hart Foundation.
Yes, and a song that just doesn't get enough play ever is Grab Them Cakes.
JYD.
JYD, grab them cakes.
Remember I was saying that someone should do one of those JRAI covers of,
Yeah.
of,
Grab Them
of
Cakes.
Grab Them Cakes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you,
that's gonna
Jose,
be
or
great.
no thank you for those JRAI covers.
Do
Fantastic.
we even talk
Anytime.
about other, like, have we talked about matches? I don't even, we talked about cheesesteaks?
We're talking about just the feeling.
I
think that's the
did.
weekend.
To me, I thought the
Do we
feel was
need
more
to talk
important.
about matches? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we
Exactly.
could talk about that in the overrun right now, but we are running out of time on our radio airtime at the moment. But you can keep on continuing the fun on Ringside Heat on Spotify and on YouTube. And for those listening on the radio, join us over there. But for now, want to thank David Morassutti, Steve Peconi, Chico Nuguid, Jose Taboada, and John Dawson, and you're listening to me, Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. You can follow at Ringside _ Heat on all of our social media as well, and make sure you also follow Wayside Comics
There you
and Cocktails online
Thank
on
you,
Facebook,
Omar.
on Instagram, and thank you, Omar, as well too, for being on the show and for talking about this beautiful establishment.
I'm gonna
that
make a
he's hosting
dinner
us at.
order. I gotta make a dinner order because there's the food look good at Chico got. So yes.
Yeah, definitely. Them
They
chicken
got good
fingers looking
food
good right
and
now.
great comics and everything else.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
already figured I found what I'm going to cook. I got to get.
So thank you so much to everybody that's listening and watching right now. The Overrun will be on Spotify and on on YouTube as well in video form. This is Ringside Heat, back from WrestleMania, and remember, we do remember the things that you probably forgot. Take care, and see you next week.
I'm so happy he's using our slogan. Yeah. I'm so happy.
Yeah.